Hi, my name is Megan Johnson. I first became aware of the Haven about 7 years ago when a friend put together what would become an annual get together of women where we all buy materials and meet at a friend's house and we make blankets for women and children. My friend had called the Haven and the manager there let her know they could always use blankets. We get together in November so that all the blankets can be given for Christmas presents. And depending on how many women are there, we can usually make about 50 to 60, which isn't enough for how many women they have staying there, which I always find surprising because it doesn't look like that big of a place. The Haven has been in Idaho Falls for nearly 30 years, and it's one of only 2 shelters for women and families. And single women stay there, mothers with children stay there, as well as single fathers with children stay there as well. Ann Johnson, who's the manager, states that the Haven is a temporary homeless shelter, and it tries to help people as well as women get back on their feet. Women and families can stay there from anywhere from 8 to 12 months. And when I spoke to Ann on the phone, she said that they have 27 rooms, but they frequently double up and have anywhere from 40 to 50 families staying there at one time, and that they have 15 to 20 families on the wait list constantly year-round. When I was researching for this speech, I found online articles about the Haven with testimonies from women who have stayed there, and I also interviewed longtime manager Ann Johnson on the telephone. Many people in eastern Idaho need help from places like the Haven, and they provide temporary shelter as well as resources and support for people to get back on their feet after they stay there. They rely on the generosity of the community to help them help others. Let's begin by discussing who the Haven helps and the services that they provide. The problem that the Haven has is that there's so many people in our community that need help, but without the help from others in the community that are doing well, they don't have the resources to help everyone that needs it. According to Eastern Idaho Community Action Partnership, who I will refer to as EICAP from now on, who helps fund the Haven as well as many other nonprofits in the area, the Haven is a homeless shelter for single women and families. The federal government defines living in poverty as a family of 4 making less than $20,000 a year, and nearly 14% of residents in Idaho, in eastern Idaho, are living below poverty. 17% of those families with children under the age of 5, and 11% of families in eastern Idaho have a woman as the head of the household, and out of those 11%, 29% of those families are living in poverty. When you're already in poverty, an emergency like your child falling and breaking an arm and an expensive doctor's bill can cause you to be homeless. Ann Johnson told reporter Todd Kuntz in an interview in 2016 that people also find themselves homeless because of being undereducated, underemployed, because of domestic violence, or because of drug abuse. And she believes that everyone deserves a second chance without judgment. Maisha Johnson, who gave an interview to Local News 8 in 2016, said that she wrote to Ann Johnson from prison to see that if she could stay there when she was released. She'd been homeless and sleeping under a bridge before prison. She was addicted to meth and at a point of no return, and she said she was lost and broken. After staying in the Haven, she said that her life has changed and that she found what life's really about. The Haven also provides educational and support programs to help women and families get back on their feet once they leave. It helps them become self-sufficient and productive members of our community. EICAP states that 15% of people over the age of 25 in Idaho do not have a diploma or equivalency. The Haven provides help to women as well as men that stay there to get their GEDs. I spoke to Ann and she said that hundreds of people take advantage of this program every year, but they need the help of volunteers to help people study and obtain their GEDs. Now let's discuss what we as a community can do to help the Haven help others. The solution to the Haven's problem of low resources and funds is help from the community, people like you and me, in the form of donating money, household goods, or our time helping the people that are there. The Haven, like many nonprofit organizations, can always use monetary donations. In 2016, Local News 8 was there when the Haven was surprised with $500 from Mountain America Credit Union. She was very grateful, and she described the way she could use the money: getting shoes for work for people that work there, helping people to get their GEDs. She said she could help people pull a tooth, like a tooth that had been in their mouth and hurting them, and they don't have the money to go get it fixed. And she said she could help people get prescriptions. As you can see, even a small amount of money could go a long way there. Another way is to donate goods. I spoke to Anne, and she said the thing they mostly need is household items: cleaning supplies, dishes, towels, blankets, because, as we stated earlier, people are there for 8 to 12 months, and they have kitchens there, and they're provided with dishes and household goods. But when they leave, they take those with them so that they're not starting over. And so the Haven constantly needs to replenish these types of things. They have a marquee outside their building on Yellowstone, and it always says what they need, and it's usually like paper towels or dish soap or rags. And they also rely on volunteers to help people get GEDs, maybe drive people to doctor's appointments. And she said that a lot of people there don't speak English, so they like to have people help the Spanish-speaking residents learn, so that it's easier for them to enter the job force and, get back on their feet. Let's wrap up by reviewing how the Haven helps our community and what we can do to make sure that they have the resources that they need to stay open for another 25 years. They provide temporary emergency housing for women and families, and support as far as GEDs, and help getting jobs so that people can get back on their feet. They're always full, and they constantly have a waiting list. Many families in Idaho are at poverty level and could easily need the help that the Haven provides. And they rely on the community to help them help others. I would ask you to please consider donating to the Haven. I know that there's many places in Idaho Falls that could use your donations, but I believe that the Haven is very important because when we help those people, they help our community, and they make Eastern Idaho better. Any little bit helps, even $20. Or the next time you go to the store and buy a big thing of paper towels, save a couple rolls or a box of Clorox wipes and drop them off. You can contact Ann Johnson at 208-523-6413. That's the Haven's phone number, but she's usually who answers. And ask her what they need at the time, or ask them what they need as far as volunteers. Does someone need help studying? Does someone need a ride to a doctor's appointment? Helping the Haven helps our community. Thank you.